About 3 years ago, Tom Huang found himself in increasing pain from a bad stomach and went to the hospital for a diagnosis. The doctors told him it was the food he was eating that caused the problem, and he needed to change to a healthier diet. Tom could not afford the expensive organic food offered in the Beijing supermarkets, so he joined the increasing army of urban farmers tending small plots of land on the outskirts of the city.
I work here for about 1 year, and initially in the first half year, I work here as a volunteer because I really care about the food security for my family and myself. So I want to find a good farm, and in the rural area. It's near the big city or outside of the city.
Over the last 5 parts of this series, I've made the case that populations across Asia are increasing at a faster rate than food production, and that unless something is done about it, the continent will face a food crisis within the next 40 years. For the last part, I've returned to Beijing to investigate the development of urban farming as a means to mitigate increasing global food prices. Professor Chai Jiangming from the China Academy of Sciences explains the issue of food security in China.
In the food security, there's 4 dimensions you need to look. One is the quantity, another is the quality, another is accessibility, availability, another is affordability. When you look at these 4 dimensions, you can see that now we are encountering this sort of a softer food crisis in China, particularly in the last 2 years when the food prices is going up, so this upsurge is so quick. Because of this food prices is going so fast, then a lot of people feel the difficulty when they buy the food. Of course, these low-income people suffer a lot, suffer more. So that's why we try to find a solution for mitigate the problem of these low-income people. So that's why the urban agriculture is coming.
Cities across China have been challenged to produce all their vegetable and meat needs from within the city limits, while the national government takes responsibility for cereal crops. Reducing the distance foods must travel to the markets reduces the dependency on oil price and gives the city governments a greater control over price. In cities in the south of the country, this has meant developing rooftop farms, but in Beijing, where the climate is more harsh and rainfall limited, the emphasis is placed on small farms outside the outer ring road.
In China, the administrative boundary of a city is quite large. It includes a quite large area of, in the Western society, called the rural area. So this is also part of the Chinese culture. So they try to have this self-contained, city self-contained the food supply. So this is a long history. So they try to have each city have their hinterland, so they can support the city when the city grows. So that's a part of the culture. So when we introduce the urban agriculture, so most of the mayor understand it quite well. So that in this municipal level, so they push the urban agriculture very hard, actually.
Walking around the little donkey farm in Haidian district of Beijing, I met a retired engineer, Jin Rui Qing, who explained to me why he spends 2 days a week farming his 30 square meter plot of land.
I don't care too much about the food price right now. In the winter, the organic vegetables in the market can be as much as 30 to 32 RMB per kg. But vegetables I plant here is enough for my family, so rising prices does not affect me.
The little donkey farm supplies 700 Beijing families with fresh vegetables every week, about half of which choose to tend the plots themselves. Professor Chai is confident the system is sufficient to meet the city's demands.
So in China, they have a saying that food is heaven. So the government just take the food supplies very seriously. So that's why they have many measures to try to either is enhance the production or just use other new technologies to try to enhance this supply.
Farming his own plot of land, Tom not only has been able to cure his stomach problems, but also secure his family against potentially crippling food price increases.
We believe the food price will be higher and higher in the open market. That's the result caused by the modern industry, food system. But here we can keep the whole year or at least half year, the food price is a balance. People trust here that's because they can come here as their own garden. So I think this kind of a special identity is trusted by the mass people.